And we are on. It is the GH Mini Spotlight and Recap here on JLJ Media. I am JLJ of JLJ Media. Welcome to the show. We're here. We're back. I have survived my second Moderna shot. I got sick. I got it. So I was out for the whole weekend last weekend, crying my eyes out like a big old baby. But I survived. I am fully vaccinated. So I am back for your listening and viewing pleasure. Of course, I'm not alone. Again, I'm not going to do this show by myself. I mean, I have done this before, but it's boring. Of course, we have she's only one of them, Lacretia Lyon.
That's me.
That's you. And of course, the heartthrob of the group since day one. The man, he's not a myth because he's right here in front of us. And legend is a word we'll use loosely, Frank Moran.
Oh, geez, Louise. Urban legend, I think, is probably...
we were the legends of AfterBuzz, the legends of tomorrow after show of AfterBuzz. We just shortened it so we sounded more important.
That's right. We're not heroes or outcasts or misfits. Legends.
Yes.
Great. Hey, everybody.
And Lacretia, once you introduced, you brought her onto our show. We're already talking our like old friend. Our guest today.
Well, if you guys were here a few weeks ago, you may have heard the announcement that SoapCon Live, the first Comic-Con for your soaps, is coming to you on May 1st. And I brought it together, but not alone. So I wanted to bring in my business partner, Miss Susan Eisenberg.
Hello.
And some of you may recognize Susan's voice because she is the most notable Wonder Woman to me as far as Justice League Unlimited, which you guys know Ken Schreiner was a part of. He was the Green Arrow.
I love it.
Scotty Baldwin. Baldwin played the Green Arrow. Yeah.
Well, welcome to our show. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got to do a few church announcements, as we always say.
Oh.
GH Mini Spotlight is audio and video. It's my number one show on my network, both places. So thank you so much. Number one. Thank you. You guys tune in. You like our voices. You like watching us, one or the other. We'll take it. Thank you. We're on every week almost. We will be on all this month in May. We will be on in May. We will. I have several reasons why. But I want to thank you for watching and listening. Follow us on any social media platform. Follow us on any audio streaming platform. That's from iHeartRadio to Spotify to Google, Apple, and of course, the YouTube versions on JLJ Media here on YouTube. So thank you for doing that. We have an anniversary next month for this show, for GH Mini Spotlight. 6 years I've been doing this show. Can't believe that. And they joined me full-time last year in the pandemic, but I've been with them 7 years total, including the other show. Just can't give it up to the three of us. And it's the 6th anniversary on May 22nd. So on May 23rd, I'm gonna have a little celebration. I'm gonna try to bring in a special guest.
Should I wear my rainbow sombrero? And
yes.
And should it be Donnell? Do we all have to ask Donnell to do the anniversary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna try to get him on. Actually, I'm gonna try to get him on.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wear my Chevy sombrero or something like that. And in 2 weeks, it's my 52nd birthday. So we will be here on my birthday. So I expect presents from every person watching.
Of course.
My Venmo is, just kidding. But it'll be my 52nd birthday, and I've decided I'm going to spend it with you. So I will be here talking. I'm going to try to get a guest for that show too. Who knows? I'm going to talk about how wonderful I am, how young I look.
Your favorite subject.
How young I look. I'm a grandfather of 4 kids, so there you go. Now, also, we have a big soap block. Dishing Days is finishing up right now over on their channel, Dishing Days. Go ahead and follow them if you want to watch all Days of Our Lives news, and it was an interesting week this week. But earlier today, we had the Young and the Restless mini spotlight. We talked about Victor withholding 911 while someone was having a heart attack to sign the papers. So we did that. We talked about that. That's out now.
Pulled a Tracy.
He did totally a Tracy. Yeah. I loved it. And then we did Bold and Beautiful mini spotlight. Lacretia, wasn't Lacretia. It was Amanda Russ and Lacretia and I do all kinds of things together. It was Amanda Russ and Tammy Govea. The three of us talked about Carter being shirtless most of the week. That's out now also. And we did the show that Lacretia is on, Forever and a Day. We did the after show for that. Quinn Van Antwerp and Tyler Swift, who played Colin and Alex respectively, came on and talked about their roles, how they got on the show. And Colin is on another JLJ Media show called Claws, the series. So check him out. He plays a sleazy host called Joseph Noel. Unlike Frank. He's on that show. And so that's all out right now for your listening and viewing pleasure here on JLJ Media. And check out any of my audio dramas, which Frank is on, a couple of those too. We have Forever and a Day, Mistletoe Road, Cupid's Crossing, and The Easter Hare. Those are all out now. All the seasons are out. Listen to them, talk about them, share with everybody. And I think it's all the church announcements.
Amen.
Everybody have a nice day.
Yes.
See you
Amen.
next time. And the Oscars are on after this. I'll be watching the Oscars later. After
People watch that still? Like
I'm DVR and I'll probably skim through it and just see who wins. I haven't watched half the movies anyway, so I don't know about that. Okay. Also, I have a Dallas after show and a Falcon Press after show. Those are Dallas after show is out now. It talks about Gary Ewing. It's out now. Okay, kids. I do a lot, Susan. It's crazy talk. I'm tired now. I'm ready to lay down.
Yeah.
You're a busy man, I gotta say.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy and stupid, but yes, I am. But Susan, welcome to the show. SoapCon Live, people are talking. This is very exciting right now because of the pandemic. A lot of things shut down last year. A lot of events didn't happen. But there were cons, and there are cons that are getting bigger and bigger. I mean, obviously, Comic-Con was one of the first. DragCon has grown in years, RuPaul and all them. But SoapCon and SoapCon Live. So, well, let's talk about this germination of how this started. How this come to be?
Well, I mean, Lacretia and I both have experience with Comic-Cons. And we both love and adore soap operas. And so we decided that it would be a brilliant idea to combine the two because we know what it is to go to a Comic-Con and to offer those things. And we thought if there were something like that with soap operas, not just one soap, not just a certain number of actors, but like it just was a place for all actors and all fans to congregate, staying with the church theme, to congregate and just be together. And so we came, we had a lot of big ideas because we're both soap fans and we both, can talk about it forever. And so we sat down and we wrote virtually, we wrote up a bunch of ideas that we wanted to do. And what would be great is ... And we got a couple of other people on our team. Alan Locker from the Locker Room is on our team. And our first day of panels will be streaming on the Locker Room. And we just put it together. We created a website for people to figure out how to buy things from the actors, but also how to see the actors. And not just at our panels, but anywhere. Lacretia put this great thing together, that's just a TV guide for soap fans. So if they want to see this actor, Lacretia has it there where you can find the soaps and what's happening right now with some of the stars. And that's how it came to pass. I mean, we definitely had some drama in all of it.
I mean, it wouldn't be SoapCon if we didn't have drama.
Right. Right. So we started with one team and that didn't work out quite as we expected. So we shifted and we pivoted to another team. And this is the team that we have now. Lacretia.
Yeah.
Well, it happens, right? Yeah. It happens to you too. When you have Alan Locker, who's a friend to me and to the show, he's a great guy. Yeah. You guys know he puts in the hard work getting those celebrities and those reunions. He does a lot of hard work on there and getting them together. So you matched up with a great partner with him because he's so good.
Well, as I was saying to you before the show, I was a fan of his before I met him, and I was a fan of what he was doing because I'm a huge Guiding Light fan. Huge as the world turns fan. And so when he was getting all these actors together, it was just emotional seeing them and hearing them tell their stories and about the stories. And I loved it. And so when I met, when Lacretia and I were going to do this, I'm like, I know you know Alan. Can you reach out to him? And she's like, yes. Stop fangirling. Because I was really fangirling over him. That. And she did. So she brought Alan in for me. And she's, you know this about her already, but this woman is tech savvy. She has, I can't tell you how amazing her skill set is and what she has brought to the website, to all of it. I mean, it's been amazing. And I didn't know her that well when I asked her to team up with me. So it was kind of a leap of faith for both of us. And I think I mean, you'll have to talk to her after I leave, but I think she'd say it's going, we're a good team. We're a good team. Different generations, which is cool because I'm much older than she is. So like my background is like Another World and, all these soaps that she wasn't even born.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true. And that's where the what really brings it to home, though, with SoapCon is that we are from different generations. And that's what soaps are about, the different generations. And it's so great that we can kind of bring that together and do something that's free to everybody on May 1st. And that's something that we'll always try to do is include everyone. Because, we're here for you, soap fans. Trust me, we wish we could have done every soap this first time out, but I only have so many hours in a day. Susan only has so many hours in a day, but we're working on all of them. Trust me. And we love your comments.
Right. Because people have commented like, oh, are you going to have more? And we're like, this is just the first. I mean, they're the first of many, many, many. And we're fans of all of them. So, we watch them all. We've watched them all. So our goal is to represent everyone out there. And we want to hear from people. We're going to set that up so that people can let us know who they want to see and who they'd love to see panels. We basically tried to keep it like a Comic-Con. So there's free panels. And then the fans have an opportunity, if they want, to buy a meet and greet from the actors or an autograph from the actors or a virtual greeting, which is just like a message from the actor to the fan or from the fan to the actor. So we kept it like that. It's like a Comic-Con, if anyone out there is familiar with Comic-Cons, but for soap opera fans and for soap opera actors.
Right. Okay. So let me get it really quick. So P.I. Kelly, public cover, says she's subscribed to SoapCon. So I guess subscribe. So she's in there. She's in our chat room. We have people coming in. So chat room, they're asking me what's going on. So we're talking about, these are creators of SoapCon Live, thing that you'll be able to go to for free, but also there are extras. And we're going to talk about that. I want to break that down for a second. So the whole thing is they started something for the soaps, almost like the live events, like in person, but these are all online, correct? They're all panels. You can see your favorite soap stars from the past and present, correct?
Yep.
And present. From different soaps. Now, are there any General Hospital related ones coming up soon?
Oh, yeah. So on May 1st, I will be moderating the General Hospital Love and Tragedy with Ken Trainer, Scotty Baldwin, Shel Danielson, who played Scotty's love, Dominique. And of course, the tragedy is their kid is the only kid still living for Scotty Baldwin, but I digress.
That is a tragedy.
And then we have Jackie Zeman, Bobby Spencer, and Brad Mall, Dr. Tony Jones. So that's our GH panel. And that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern time on May 1st, and it's completely free. Like we said, you can find it on the locker room, and it'll be on soapconlive.com if you forget that, and everywhere you can find it will be there as well. So soapconlive.com. But yeah, that's completely free. We're having a nice little reunion there with Bobby and Tony and Dominique and Scotty.
That'd be nice. And you guys, I'll put it in the description. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, one of the things about Comic-Cons is certainly the in-person experience. But for as many people that have the opportunity to go to San Diego or go to New York Comic-Con, there are still, bazillions of fans that don't have the opportunity to be able to travel to those locations. But I guess like the nice thing about the pandemic is that it's really forced conventions to kind of innovate and using the virtual platform. So going forward, as we kind of return to normalcy, how do you see just the in-person experience kind of interacting with the virtual experience going forward for SoapCon?
I think there's room for both, frankly. I think that for a lot of actors and for fans, the idea of travel, there's an expense to it. And I think it would be great if we could have both. I love the idea of the virtual and I want to keep it available, but I also love the idea of people meeting at a venue where they can see each other and they can talk to each other, where we can have people perform. And, there's the daytime group is just so multi-talented. So we'd like to exploit their talent a little bit and let them bring a little bit of that out. People who are singing and play music and things like that. We would love to have that happen. at a venue, not
Yeah.
virtually. But I think there's room for both. And I think that if you ask 10 people what they prefer, you're going to get different answers. So I'd like us to be like one-stop shop where you can do it all as long as you go to soapconlive.com. You can figure out eventually how you can meet people in person, but you can also see how you can meet them virtually.
I think
because
that's great.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we talked to Kathleen Gotti here a few weeks ago, and she was talking about like the virtual stuff has allowed fans from different countries and different walks of life to be able to connect a little bit easier when going to events is hard. Like, and that's why we want to be able to keep both. And the beauty is that in learning all of this stuff, it's like the model works for both.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the Comic-Cons did go virtual. I think they were slow to it, except for a few who were like right out of the gate, figured how to adapt it. And I'd say, like we're saying, if for money issues, for convenience issues, for health issues, virtual is brilliant. But then at least we'll have the other things available too. And we're not there yet, but we will be there at some point.
You will be. You'll figure out. And you have to actually, we still kind of have to wait and see how the world opens up. It depends.
Right.
Every state is different. The pacing is different. LA's starting to open a little. Starting to open up now. I mean, it just depends on how it goes, and that's how you'll act accordingly. What happens today? So I know right now there's a couple of events. I think it's Fantasy Events is doing one in person later this year. I'm a little nervous about that. In Virginia, North Carolina, and then one other is doing it. But Starstruck, our friends at Starstruck, they do the stuff online. They're doing virtual. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. Why your con? How will your con be different than some of these other cons? Because not all cons are good. I have no problem because she's a shady Sunday. I have no problem saying that. Not all cons are good. Why your con?
Well, the one thing that I noticed was a complaint that I'd seen, and rightfully so, is that a lot of cons are really expensive. And so that's one thing that I fought to keep here is keep costs low so that the cost to fans is low, and always keep something free. Those panels, getting people together, like that includes the fans. So those will always be available online 100% free. And then, you have the option to purchase a 3-minute one-on-one meet and greet online with Ava LaRue or like Jacob Young, or of course, Ken Schreiner. All of these people, you can do that virtually just for $65. And then, autographs are $45. You have video greetings for $45 as well. We tried to look at the pricing on some of these and keep it as low as we could, because again, that's just a way of including everyone. And it is what it is it's much better to have everyone involved, or as many people as can participate, than to really, make all this money off, fans and actors alike. So it's kind of one of those things that it's nice to be able to include everyone and include all the soaps as well. We didn't want to just be a General Hospital convention. And that's what's really different about us as well.
Right. And yeah, and like Lacretia said, I mean, we didn't get in this to make a buck. That was never what drove us. That was never why we talked about it for hours on end. It was because we have such a passion for the genre. We love the genre. There are only 4 soaps left. We want to celebrate what's there. We want to celebrate what came before. And we want to share that with the fans who are like us, who just love it with all their hearts. So I think that kind of passion that's driven by a true love for the genre. I mean, I'm hoping that the fans recognize that in the page that we created, in the website that we created, in the things that we're going to be offering. And again, we do want to engage the fans in conversation about what they want to see. Like, we have panels coming up. What kind of panel would they like to see? Who would they like to have us invite? So hopefully it'll be very, there'll be a lot of communication between us and the fans, and very inclusive. So I hope that sets us apart.
That's great. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I'm totally excited to see what happens. I mean, I think anybody who's proactive and creates something, as the person who creates something all the time, I'm always for it. I'm just like, why not? Why not?
Right.
And you come from a place where you're really like trying to bring something to the community, the soap community especially. That's a real honest way. I like that. So I do these for, I don't get any money. I do these for the money. I do it for free. I'm doing it because I love the soap world. I love the soap world.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
We're not getting paid for this, James? What?
Mhm.
What?
Yo, Frank, I'm paying for it every Sunday when I'm with you.
And we've been doing it for 7 years for
7
free
years.
for all of these people. At some point in time, like the three of us do it, talking GH, even when the microphone's not plugged in,
Exactly. So I mean, it's kind of crazy. But no, that's great, Susan and Lucretia. We're very excited to see what happens. And shout out to Alan Locker, our buddy. So soapconlive.com is the place. SoapCon Live is also on Instagram, Facebook too.
Yes, yeah,
Twitter.
all the socials and Twitter. Yep.
Twitter and the Twitter. So yes,
the
Twitters, the tweeting machine. So go there and check it out. I'm going to go to one of the panels. I'm going to go to that panel. I'm going to say on May 1st. I'm going to that panel. I'm going to sit in there.
There are four panels on May. There are four panels on May 1st.
Yeah, we have the doctors now. Yeah.
Cheese and crackers. Well, I'll try to go to one of them. At least. See what's going on.
Okay.
So I can do.
Fair enough. And surprises in between the panels.
Yes.
Wink, wink. Stay tuned for many surprises in between. We're not going to have a ton of time in between the panels because we don't want people to go away and not come back. So it's going to be, pretty close together, but there'll be some really cool surprises for the fans.
Certainly going for the Comic-Con, the panels are great.
Yeah.
But for the two of you, what do you want out of panels that maybe you haven't seen in other cons? You're like, man, I really want to get this and this and this out of a panel when I have the opportunity to discuss with actors or creators behind something that not just myself, but a lot of fans really love.
Well, I just don't want to be limited. Like a lot of cons, comics and others, a lot of times they're just very specific to like one thing, and they don't do a lot of nostalgia unless there's something new coming out. Well, it's very unlikely that they're going to have Another World come back, but that shouldn't limit us to doing an Another World panel, should it? And I think that's the thing, is the sky's the limit on our panels. So yeah, I mean, it's great that we have like a Kramer Woman reunion, and you deal with people from One Life to Live, which, it's not like Pine Valley where All My Children is sort of coming back in a way, but people still want to see these characters, and who knows, a lot of these people just want to be seen, just like all of us. Like, hey, we still want to work, we still want to talk about this, and maybe that helps them too.
It's funny. Last week I interviewed one of my favorite actors of all time, Melissa Hayden from Guiding Light. I got a chance to interview her, and it was like a personal thing for me. I did it. It came from that, like you guys came from that place, and she has a lot to say. And she's teaching actors, and she's doing all kind of stuff. And she and I are the same age, we found out, and it was kind of like a lot of fun to kind of talk to somebody that I watched as I was kind of, we were kind of growing up together, watching her in this business, and she's just lovely. And I just think they have things to say. They still have stuff to offer. And
they have an audience out there that wants to see them and listen to them. So I think if we can give them a place to have a conversation, that's what we want to do. We want to host a conversation for the fans and for the actors or the directors, the writers. It doesn't, going forward, we want a lot of people on, not just the people in front of camera. I mean,
I'm going to cut you off really quick because you just said something that it just came up in the chat room. Michael B wants to know, he would like to see a workshop or maybe do a panel from the writers. He wants to know how to write and submit story ideas on soaps or how to create your own. And so at GLK Media, we've created our own because we're writers, but that's a great idea too. You're just saying that, basically saying that behind the camera too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Alan did that. Alan Locker did that on his show. He had the casting people and the stories they told about those days. And people so appreciated. When I looked at Alan's comments on his YouTube channel, it was like people loved it. So it's the actors, of course, but it's the people who wrote the stories that we fell in love with, that we remember from 30 years ago, and that we're still we can still talk about on a dime if somebody gives us the opportunity. So we just want to keep the conversations going, come on in, I'll take your coat, have a seat, let the party begin.
We've had Mark Teschner on here, casting legend. We've had Fido Xavier, directing legend.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, we know people love it. They want to hear all the stuff. They want to hear everything. So it's funny when you talk about that, Susan, in a chat room, someone brings that up. So yeah, so maybe do a writing panel. You can listen to what they say and see what they talk about.
Yep, absolutely.
That's what we do at JLT too. We have our own soaps. Right?
Oh, the big thing, I mean, when it comes to Comic-Cons, especially when it gets back to in-person experiences, is the merch. The merch. What's it like for you guys in terms of dealing with merchandise, not just for SoapCon, but then also planning for whenever we can do in-person stuff in terms of like showrooms or stuff where people can come in and sell or kind of soap opera merchandise?
I'm so glad you said that, Frank, because that was one of my first ideas in the beginning of this, was that many of these soap actors own their own businesses. Like, as we all know, from Michelle Stafford with Skin Nation, of course. But Michael Easton, he writes comic books. And so that's what we are looking to do with the site, is sort of host that as well, host their shops and give people like access to vendors. And of course that would be in person, because as Frank and I both know cons very well, that was one of the things my brother was like, well, how are you going to get the merch? And, I've designed some SoapCon merchandise as well, but as much as people want to wear our stuff, they'd probably much rather prefer Mackenzie Westmore's beauty line. so yeah, like that's in the big plan. And of course, again, people will be able to set up booths when we do the events, but we have virtual booths as well. So
nice.
That's a great thing. So I'm just very excited for this. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great event. I wish you guys just total success out the gates. It's gonna be fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fine. It's so cute. We need stuff like this now because people want this. They want it. They want it.
Yep.
It's supply and demand. It's that simple. I mean, really, it's that simple.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
So SoapConLive.com, folks. Do not sleep on this. Go ahead and run. Don't walk. People in the chat room saying yes, they wish they've been wanting to do something like this. They've never been to anything. So yes, they're like they want the moss ball in Sunny's kitchen on a panel.
I'll see what we can do. The boss is pretty busy. Like, I've tried to get it on my show like several times, guys.
That publicist. Yeah. I mean, we've been trying, right? Lacretia, I mean, we've been trying. Very busy.
I know that moss is just like, it makes no sense. And even they make fun of it. It's the most hilarious thing.
It's hilarious.
I want it on this show too. That's what I want. For my birthday, I want the moss on the show. Yes. I want the moss on the show. Exactly. That's so funny. And people always tell what they want. So yeah, they said they're gonna they want a Santa Barbara panel. I'm one of those two. They're gonna work on stuff.
Oh, of course.
They're gonna work on all kind of stuff. They're gonna work on it. It's just them trying to work it out for you guys, as I know how that is, where you're doing everything. You can't just wake up and plan these things. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Big time. I mean, and it's not just because my name's Lacretia.
Totally. But
Lacretia McEvil,
Yes, exactly. So that's great. Okay, good. Okay, let's talk about some General Hospital, folks, shall we? Let's talk about some GH.
I want to know, Susan, as our guest of honor, I want to know, what are you thinking of the current storylines happening?
Okay.
You probably will really align with Frank. My son.
Okay, so all of the storylines, or do we have a specific storyline?
Right, let's start with I know James's favorite character, Peter August. What do you think of the Peter August storyline?
Okay, what other storylines do you want to talk about? I'm of the feeling that I cannot wait for that to come to an end. That's the Peter August story. Not a fan of that story. I'm sure Wes Ramsey is the loveliest guy. Watched him on Guiding Light and loved him on Guiding Light. But I don't think it was a great story. It didn't touch me at all. I never really thought he and Maxie had any chemistry. And instead of like saying, okay, well, we're gonna pivot to something else, they doubled down on him and Maxie. And I love the idea of Maxie like turning the tables on him. I love the old Maxie who was savvy and smart and I love that Maxie being back. And I want her, and I love her and Britt. So anything that gets Britt into
Me
a story, I'm all for, because I love her. I love her as a character, and I love seeing her on there. But no, the Peter story, I feel badly because I don't think that for me as a viewer, I never sensed that the writers had a roadmap for it. It felt like all over the place. He was evil, then he was nicer, and then they made him the murderer, and he really did kill all those people, and now he's just evil. So it doesn't speak to me as a story. So that's my answer. I'm being as respectful as I can possibly be.
We don't join the show. Respectful. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's Shady Sunday. We say
Sunday
things
here
on
on
there.
our show. What say, Frank?
Well, I mean, I would feel like the thing that's frustrating about that is it also kind of dovetails into whatever's going to be happening with Brooklyn and the fake baby.
Yes.
I feel like the Brooklyn fake baby is, as much as with Brooklyn, that is a character where there are moments where she is so savvy and she can really read a room and break down people's motivations and call them out on stuff. And then they will give her the dumbest things to do, like this fake pregnancy. How would she even think that this is something she could pull off in 2021?
I don't know. And I love Valentine. And he is the smartest person in the room sometimes. And Brooklyn is that street smart, savvy person, Frank. But like, it's like she really thinks this is going to work. You're going to be able to pull one over on him, really? I mean, I do enjoy her scenes with Chase and Michael. They're miles better than them with other people sometimes. Again, nicest framework there. But yeah, I like that it has to go in the direction of Brooklyn, Maxie, and Britta doing the whole con together, right? I mean, I'm all for girl power, especially when Britt's involved, but
the fans on the chat room, they said, I love this gal. Oh, I like her. Oh, I love it. They love you, Susan. They love you.
Yeah.
Already. But I'm reading the writing. I'm reading the writing.
They love you about Britt or Maxie, because I love them too.
So I have famously, and that's why Wes Ramsey will probably never be on my show, or Laura Wright, been against this story and him and all that. So, but I have said the last few shows, evil Peter works for me. When they decided to say, okay, now he's just evil, I'm like, that works for me better than this other thing they were trying to do. So he has zero chemistry with anybody. So I'm like, I'm just very happy. Make him evil. Make everybody they're trying to all come at him. I will take it. But the baby switch thing, oh my God. I wish Brooklyn really was pregnant. I wish she really was pregnant. I'm sad that
Me too.
I wish
me too.
Me too. I almost feel like that was the original intention. But I think they've gone another direction. They seem to have worked through some of the storylines that were lingering, and I feel like we're finally getting places, but as long as I think we can all agree on this, as long as this ends with Peter dead, I think we're good.
Oh my God.
He killed Franco.
He killed Franco. He killed Franco.
I do imagine, and Susan, I don't know how you feel about this, but we talked about this weeks ago, but I feel like the Peter August character is somebody that won't get killed off, but will be more like Faison. Or even if he does get killed off, there'll be an escape clause. So he can come back every few years to kind of terrorize, kind of if he's trying to be like the new Faison.
You know what? I love the escape clause, and I like that they have it for other people, but I think in his case, I'd like to see a body. I'd like to know that the character is gone. Because I don't need this character to come back. I think it was a misstep, and I just don't think the character has brought us anywhere. And I don't think we experienced anything with this character that was like, wow, what a ride. That was amazing. I'm ready for the ride to be over. It hasn't really been gratifying on any level for me. So I want him to be dead, not wink, dead.
So Julian dead now?
Julian dead. I mean, how many people are like we haven't seen a body for, how many characters are out there that could still be alive? I think it was Kiki. We saw her body.
Yeah.
And, but there are a lot of unknowns out there for a lot of these characters.
Even if you see the body, don't mean anything either.
That's
You've seen the body, and they're still like, "Hi, I'm back." And it's like,
that's a good point.
I always think about soap dish. It's like, but his head is gone. It's decapitated. What the matter is put a head back on. You know, that's
if they can undo Erica Kane's abortion and bring on Josh Madden, then they can do anything, really.
The abortion baby. Yes, exactly.
The unaborted
The
fetus.
baby. Yes, exactly.
That was terrible.
Susan,
That was
in terms of
terrible.
bad guys, going to the other side, how are you enjoying Cyrus Renaud in comparison to Peter Rucker? So they're doing a better job of fleshing him out?
You know, I think that they're on their way. You know, it's not love at first sight for me with Cyrus, with the Cyrus character. I like that they've given him a brother and a sister on the canvas. I think that helps. It would help me a lot if they cut the ponytail. That would really help me a lot. I think it's such a distraction. I can't get past it some days. I really can't. I think his suits are looking better. His suits, the wardrobe on GH, sometimes I could do an entire episode on the wardrobe on GH.
I think they finally got a new tailor, or the tailor got to come back after COVID, because they were all too big. Like
they were too big and like it. I mean, it was like really out of a bad men's store, and so now at least he looks like somebody. And if they could just chop that ponytail, I think he'd. I think they're going in the right direction with him. And I think what's great is that Michael and Jeannie and he all have, I think, such wonderful chemistry. So I like their scenes together a lot. I wouldn't have thought about this as a story. So well done, writers. I think that was something I didn't see coming down the road, and I like it.
I definitely think of the three, Martin is the one that's getting the short end of the stick in the story.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I enjoy
100%.
him so much.
Like him so much, and I think they've lost touch with who he was supposed to be on the show. You know, he came on and he
Working
was kind
for
of
the
the
Colonel.
villain. Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
and he. I mean, it's still hard for me. Bless his heart. It's still hard for me with the Southern accent. It's again like the ponytail. The Southern accent is so distracting, but I do think he's getting the short end because I don't think he's fleshed out very well. It'll be interesting to see where they go with him. There are a lot of, you know, it's such a huge cast, and that's, you know, I love that Chase has a family, and I love that Laura has siblings that we didn't know about, but it's just a lot of people to write for. So I hope they give everyone, you know, his or her due now with all these characters. I mean, people get lost. So. But no, I like Cyrus. I think he's a good villain. I think he's a good villain. Yeah.
They're asking if he could come on every week. She has a life. She don't hang out with her.
All right. So Susan, what do you think of Nina heading to Jersey, I guess, hanging out at the dance? That's really the worst.
Sunny in the cowboy hat. You don't like that?
It's tough.
Those dimples, guys, though, in the cowboy hat.
Yay.
Like,
yeah, some of those scenes have just been almost unbearable. Like Sunny talking about the business, not the business, but you know that they're out of the bar stuff, the Tano.
mm-hmm.
Some of that's been rough, I gotta say. You know, it's like a drinking game. Like, you know, you just want to drink every time they talk about the money woes of the Tano. But I have to say, I love seeing Cynthia Watros out of, you know, in a new light. I love seeing her flirty and fun and light. I thought the story with Nell and her sadness around it was just like, I needed a break from that. And it, you know, it's a little like Alexis. I was really tired of Alexis being depressed. As good as Nancy Lee Grant is, and there's no one better, really, in my opinion. I was just tired of it's heavy. It's just, there's such a heavy. And so it's nice to see Cynthia, whom I've loved since Guiding Light, just, you know, and it's a great story if she meets Sonny and she seduces Sonny. It's great story. And I hope they stick to it. I mean, Jax coming was like, I knew Jax wasn't going to break up anything. I think we need to find a place for Jax. In my opinion, he and Cynthia don't have any chemistry.
But he saw Sonny on Friday.
Yeah, but he was dazed. He was dazed.
I love that she's going to lie to him. Yeah, you see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, completely and totally. I mean, Jax is another character that I think is getting, you know, they have to find out what they're going to do with him. Because I think to pin him to Cynthia and Cynthia to him, I don't see it. I mean, I'd love to know what other fans think, because I don't think
fans
they have
want
any.
the show. The fans want him gone. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They want him gone.
They want Jax gone?
Yeah, because of his personal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, brouhaha on his personal beliefs.
Right, that's true. I don't follow too much about that. I love the character of Jax. Historically, I loved him with Brenda in the heyday. I mean, some of that stuff was just mwah. So yeah, but Cynthia's just delightful playing these cute scenes. But Sonny in the cowboy hat, no, I could take a pass on that.
But what happens when he gets his memory back and he's still in Port Charles, but still wears the cowboy hat?
I feel like that's where we should be headed. Like the mobster with the cowboy hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, and I would love for Carly to take over the mob. I think that's really, rather than her hoping Jason gets free so he can do it, let her do it. I mean, if there was ever a mob boss, isn't she the perfect?
Kidnapped an old lady. Like of course she is. Like why do we even need Jason? He's the reasonable one. It's like, no, Carly's crazy. Let her do it. Like that's funnier.
So much funnier.
I will reiterate this meeting with the 5 families. It seems like we just want Carly to be in that room with the 5 families.
Yes.
But this is dragging out forever. Hey, this meeting with 5 families, it's coming. Like, just have it already. Do it.
Right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. All right. Now you and I, Frank.
Yes.
I told you. I knew you guys would be simpatico.
I think the problem is because of what's going on in real life with Ingo Rademacher and his co-stars, some of his co-stars.
Yes.
I think you're right. John Oswald is not knowing to do with him so much. They're probably writing his guarantees, of course, and doing that. But he's good with Jocelyn. Him and Eden McCoy have great chemistry.
Oh yeah, very cute.
They're very cute together, and she's a great actress and friend of the show.
Yeah, we love her.
We love Eden. We watched Eden grow up.
She's darling.
But I think you're right. Other than that, he's kind of just floundering, or the character's just floundering around. I think either just should get off the pot, either make him big again, ruthless businessman, all that kind of stuff, or just let's send him back to Australia. I mean, either one of the two, I think, because it's not. Him and Nina have zero chemistry. Him and our girl Michelle Stafford had chemistry when they first
great
started.
Chemistry. Great chemistry. They were on a day, I think, together. Where it was just like, oh wow. And then Michelle obviously was gone, but they sizzled. And it's too bad. It's just like, listen, chemistry is chemistry. You can't control it. Yeah.
You just can't help it. So I think we need to find out. I don't mind the Tano storyline. Everybody else is like, I'm so tired. I kind of like.
Yeah, you and I were simpatico there. We liked. We liked Sonny having a good time.
I feel like Maurice is having a good time. I feel like he's really enjoying this. Yeah. And
what about me having a good time though? I mean, seriously.
Yes. This is what she said to me.
Lucretia will be like, oh, but look at Maurice. Maurice is having so much fun. I'm like, you know what? Maurice is getting paid and he's got a contract and he's got a guarantee. What about the fans having fun? I just, I need to have more fun with him. I love Maurice. I love him, but I need to have fun.
And see, here's the deal, Susan. That comment just made my day. But here's the deal. I don't care for Sonny that much. I don't think his acting's all that great, to tell you the truth.
Right.
I'll never be on the show either. I only care. But I like him now than this storyline. But the problem is, this Elijah dude is getting on my nerves a little bit. It's like, why are you coming so hard? But I kind of like him liking Nina. It's like, is he liking Nina or is he doing it on purpose? I like the little story. I think it's kind of like, why not? It's a little break from the mob.
It's a little Paris, Texas-y, like One Life to Live did with Vicky. I kind of like it that way.
I am not a mob fan. I didn't like the Guzzi years. I'm not a huge. I don't like the mob stuff. I'm not a big mob person. So for me, maybe that's why I'm liking this, because there's no mob-y stuff happening. It's implied right now. I kind of like, I like Cyrus, so I kind of like to care Cyrus, but it's implied. Oh, yeah. The drug things are being implied. They're not really shootouts just for me.
I think with the Tano, I think just the 3 of them in the Tano just talking about talking. That's my problem. Like there's no air in the scenes for me.
Well, now there was. Now there was. They were outside.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there was air, and there was some action, and I was like, I liked that. I liked that better. But yeah, all right, we'll just have to. All right.
Susan, they hate me. They love you in the chat room. They don't like you. They love you in the chat room. They're loving you right now in the chat room. So
let me just say, this is the most fun I've had.
I'm so glad you would come.
You could tell. You can ask Lacretia and I, like, you know, when we started, when she said, "Do you want to be a guest on my podcast?" I'm like, let me think. So I'd be on your guest on your podcast. I'd talk about soaps for like an hour and 15. Yes. You know, it was just like, who doesn't want to do that? It's like the most fun ever.
And we have to mention, because of Carly, because she's crazy and just doesn't do anything, we got Sean for a couple days. And I will say that great, Sean Black, one of the great. He and Brianna Nicole Henry, who never worked together before, because our girlfriend Antoine, they were great together. They're great. I mean, because right now they have the musical taggarts happening. It's like one day it's my buddy Rial, one day it's the other guy, one day it's the other guy. But this one, it was Sean, and I loved their conversation. I loved it.
They were great. That was a great conversation in the jail. I loved it. I thought it had such energy. Yeah, I loved it. And I don't really think, I think she's underused. I think she's extraordinary. I just think she's beautiful and talented and funny and sexy and pretty and all those things. And you don't really get to see so much of it. But you see one dimension of her, which is now, you know, being sad about the breakup or sad about TJ. Or so it was like a little Zaza in the scenes. And I thought it was great. They definitely brought some heat to it, which was terrific.
Yeah, they need to figure out what they're going to do, because you have my man, Curtis.
Oh, okay.
And did you buy the stand-up yet or not?
I need to buy it. No, the fans, Susan, me and Donnell are Johnell on Twitter.
Hashtag Johnell.
6 years. He's saying, hey, birthday to me at the Emmys once because of them. We have our own. He's been on our show many times, but I'm trying to get him for my birthday. He's talking to him and Laura. I love their friendship. And
because he was such a fan of hers. Like, that was what was so cute, is him telling us. Yeah.
He's a fan of Luke and Laura, what he said before he came on the show. And now he's working with Jeannie Francis. And I love their scenes together. And so I feel like they need to figure out, should they start working towards being back together, or just release, or just have him go at Portia and screw her and do that?
I don't think I don't think they have chemistry. I would like them to break up. I don't like them as a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Portia? You like Portia?
Yeah, I think he has more chemistry with Portia than he does. Jordan and Heat, I don't think have a lot of chemistry. I think their best scenes have been since the breakup. I gave them something to play. I mean, the worst was when they were wondering how to pay the bills for the kidney surgery. That was deflating.
You didn't like that? It's like real life, a slice of real life. You don't want to hear that on your soaps?
She's like a cop. They have great insurance. And the worst for me with him was when he was a private detective and he set up that security system. Very elaborate. We had the tour of the security system, and then they got robbed like a day later. And I just thought, So I'm glad he's running the bar, because I don't think he was great at the security.
But we all know that it's building up to whenever the opening night of this club, whenever that happens, it's like the 5 families meeting. It's taking forever for this club to open. Something's going down. So ties are all going to come together. It's going to be some explosive opening night, which will be great. Except
here's hoping. That would be great. When do we get Lulu back? Back? Any thoughts about that?
You mean by like a new actress and new storyline?
The character.
Yeah. Just anyone,
I need a new actress and new everything for Lulu to come back for me.
Okay, so that's interesting to me. So you were okay with Emmy leaving?
Yes.
Okay.
I love Julie Marie Berman. She's my Lulu. I felt it really wasn't Emmy's fault. It was the writers. They wrote her unspencer-like to me. I was like, she's a Spencer. She's a lot like her father. Like we need to explore that more. And they did this whiny bitch for years, and just like making these wrong, and then she's like all of a sudden a reporter out of nowhere. I mean, there was just so much that to me that they did her wrong. That I was like, just send her off. She needs to go. And I think I think it just didn't serve it all. Because I love drawing Guiding Light. I love drawing Y&R. Emmy was great at those. They wrote for her. This one, I wasn't a fan at all. I thought, nah, go.
I think it's weird that the character's not there. I mean, she was so important, and they had all this story around it, and then it was just like she's gone.
Yeah, and certainly with Nicholas now, with the way that they've put him in this storyline against Laura now, it's like this is when we need Lulu or Lucky back.
I think. Did you read about? Did you read that? He said he may come back. That
Jonathan Jackson.
Jonathan said, yeah.
Yes, I heard that. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. For Lulu, I'm not missing the character right now, but whatever they're doing with Dante and Sam, it's just like, all right. I'm not thrilled with that either. So I mean, I feel
this is where me and Frank come together. It's like how much we hate the idea of Dante and Sam together, or Sam as a character altogether.
I don't hate
unless
Dante
it's Lindsay.
but they had chemistry, Dante and Sam. I think. I mean, I know Sam. See, I'm not really hip to the soap community. Like, I don't really know what and Lacretia has been doing this.
Yes.
So I know Sam is like huge, right? So I know people love them together. I think she and Dante have a lot of chemistry, but I'm not rooting for them necessarily. I mean, who are you rooting for?
Keep in mind, Cameron Matheson coming on the show.
Yeah.
We don't know who yet. Some say
what's your guess?
I say Stephen Lars. What?
That too. Someone was trying to say, this one go. It's going to be Jeff Weber.
Jeff Weber,
way too young.
Way too young.
Sure, I mean, Becky hasn't aged, but it's still like
they're pushing Becky with Finn. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Well, I told you guys that was what was happening after Franco died. I said it. And then that just opens the door for my girl, Rebecca Budding, to come back and be Hayden. I mean, I feel confident enough that is where it's going, or at least that's what I have to tell myself. Like,
I did enjoy Michael Easton and Finola Hughes scene.
Yes,
I thought
so
that was
good.
great. Yeah,
so good. Yeah.
But I don't know, Susan, to go back to with Sam, I feel like she's a boat anchor on any scene she's in. So it just, I do not care for that character one bit. She comes into a scene and it just, the fun stops when she arrives.
What do you mean? Because of the scintillating delivery? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, see, Susan, the deal was bring back Lindsay Hartley. I don't know, when Lindsay Hartley was playing Sam, I was all in. Her delivery, energy, her everything. And I
don't think that will happen. I don't think that will ever happen.
I loved it. I mean, she was like, she gave us some Sam that I was like, oh, there's the energy, there's the spark, there's the Sam we know. And she's beautiful, and I know Lindsay's a nice person. I mean, so it's like, I'm just saying, I was like, I feel like Kelly Monaco, who I liked all these years, I've always liked on some level. I feel like the steam has run out. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know if it's the writers or her or life, or I don't know what's going on.
I like Tara Kendall's comment. I'm a J. Sam fan. Good for you. And I'm still wondering what Sam's purpose is. That's at least an honest comment. Like, you're a fan and you're still like, what the hell's going on?
Right. I mean,
yeah. It's very odd. And like, if they're not going to have her with Jason, and I mean, they've made her a daughter. I mean, the Alexa scenes, she's in all those Alexa scenes. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if she were in a like a facility in New Jersey or New York right now. That would be okay with me. But the long-term care facility that we hear about all the time with Lulu, where's Lulu? She's in a long-term care facility.
I'm with Annie going. I'm a Dante Maxie pairing.
Oh yeah, they have such chemistry. It's like ease in their scenes. That's all that history. Him and Kirsten Storms are adorable. Sorry, and I love her. She always puts in 110%, even when her story is shit.
I love her too.
Yeah,
I love her. Love her. I don't see her and Dante. I really. I mean, I know that makes sense. And then Lulu comes back.
The drama.
Drama.
They're not going there. I mean, they're not going there.
No.
Clearly, it's the other two.
I thought this week when she heads over to Nathan's grave, all in her disguise, I'm thinking, who does she think this was going to fool? If Peter has people watching the apartment and we see, just a pregnant woman leaving a building, even with her head wrapped up, who else is it going to be? Who else is it going to be?
Yes.
But I did like at least, not Lois, Dante's mom. See,
Olivia. I was like, they're similar. Yes.
She's great. She's great, Olivia. Love Olivia.
Yeah, Lisa's the best.
They've given her a lot.
Lisa's the best. Yes, but they've given her, I don't know that even, I think there was nothing. She had nothing for a really long time. And I love that she has stuff to play. And she can do the drama. And I love that she used to have a huge crush on Robert Scorvio.
Yeah.
And then she's playing opposite him. I just think that is so sweet to me as a fan of daytime.
Living the dream.
To find yourself opposite a man that you've, were crazy about as a young woman. I think that's wonderful. And I like that they're friends. I don't know that they're going to take it into a romantic place. I don't know.
They haven't so
far.
No. And I think they're also hoping and holding on that they're kind of the Edward and Lila of.
Yeah. Her and Ned.
It's a weird balance. And I'll tell you, because Wally Kurt's a friend of us and a friend of the show, and he's on 2 shows. He's doing both.
I love him.
And Days of Our Lives. He said to me he's not going to change anytime soon. So he likes doing both. That's where Livia's getting a lot of her juice now because of the Ned stuff, and Ned's getting more time. And yes, he actually has been more on here than on Days recently, but that could change, and who knows how it goes. But I like that they're giving her meaty material. I think it's about time that the Quartermains have there's some Quartermains around. They're finally showing them.
They listen to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get more than one picture of Lila? Like there's just like one picture of Lila on that little side table. When we have this special show dedicated to the wardrobe, can we have a show about just set design? They've done some really great stuff. And
they changed the Quartermain Mansion. They changed it.
They changed it. We have new restaurants. I mean, it's exciting, right? To have new locations.
Yeah, they're
what do you think about like the Chase, Willow, Michael? All right. I fell asleep talking.
Yeah, I know.
I fell asleep in the middle of asking the question. What do you think? What do you think of them? What's that?
I was like, this is Frank territory. There we go.
This storyline is so ridiculous, and that they've now spun it to where now Michael Willow, we've got to keep a secret for the good of Chase.
Did you see that coming a mile away? You saw that coming a mile away. I can't think. I mean, I think they're both adorable, but boy, I think he's really wasted. I don't know why they don't play him for all his humor. Like he's a funny
Chad,
dude in real life. Chad's so
and they're doing it a little bit, but recently, like, was it something I said to like they recently? But yeah, I agree with you. He's adorable. He reminds me of my little brother, even though we're the same age.
He's a cutie.
The way they've done the Michael and Willow scenes. Their scenes, the whole relationship has been so coy and so drawn out, and that by the time that they actually declare their true feelings for each other, I don't care because it's been. Who cares? I don't care.
I don't care. And now she's moved on, and Willow and Michael are like, let them have the mattress, and then you have Sasha moving on with the other guy, with Brando.
Because that just works. They're both 10s.
I'm together already, so that's
the Titanic scene.
That was cute. That was cute.
That was funny.
I loved it.
That was adorable. And then the mother hates her and is gonna do. I just don't want them to go off into like where they start drugging together. That would be depressing. If like they start like they fall off the wagon together and you just see Brando and Sasha like on drug like that. I don't want to see. But I think it's nice to have a. What'd you say?
I'm just shocked. I'm Gladys not dead yet. I'm just watching.
I know she's my girl Gladys, who I enjoy.
I know you love Gladys.
Like
I like Gladys too. I like Gladys too.
She's
awful,
Gladys too. But she's funny.
Yeah, she's good.
I don't know, for some reason, the only thing that bugged me with as much as I enjoyed the Brando and Sasha scene, and I was like, all right, I'm cool to see where this relationship goes, is when she does get, when they start talking over in Brando's garage, and she starts mentioning car parts or tools, and it's like, how do you know about cars? Like, oh, come on. What are we talking about? Women can know many things. Why do we have to say, how do you know? Oh, this is crazy. How would you know, Sasha?
It's crazy, I say. How would you, a woman, know about cars? Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Well, that's the writers. We can have a whole episode of writers on the writing team, General Hospital writing team.
Well, and that's actually all writers and all shows. I think there's still some archaic things being written on soaps, all the soaps. They're like, we're doing that still, or we're that still. Like, really? Is that where we're going? Like, wasn't that 1985? Was that 1973? I mean, I'm just like some of the things, these storylines they choose, I'm like, that's just way archaic.
And yet, I mean, so how do you liven that stuff up? How do you take something old and make it new again? Because all these stories have been done in one form or another. Yeah, I mean, and I see a lot of rotation with the with the directors, with the writing team. So I don't even know who to blame for Peter. Who do we blame for Peter? Who do we blame for Cyrus's long hair?
We know who we blame for Peter. That's all I'll say about that. We know why Peter is on General Hospital. That's all I'll say about that. Just say, drink that tea, girl. That's right. Sunday. We know why Peter is on. I have a few inside sources, but yes, we know why he's on. But in terms of story, as Susan was talking about, in terms of story, that's a good question. Who do you blame? I mean, it's a combination of, I think it starts with the writing and then also just direction. I was just like, okay, we're gonna pair him with Maxie, and there's zero chemistry. We're gonna pair him with this person, zero chemistry. Like, it's like he doesn't. The only time I felt any kind of chemistry was when he was being taken down at the wedding. It was like there I saw the Valentine and him scenes. That was like meaty. I was like, that was. It was more about your man. It was more about Patrick Stewart though. It was more about him because he's so good.
He's so good.
Yeah. Kathleen Gotti was more about her. Florida Hughes was more about her. I mean, like it wasn't necessarily him per se, but the scene partners were so. I mean, and Kirsten Storms and John J. York. It was all about them more so than him.
And that's why it worked. You know, I loved having all the different people at the different scenes. And can we just talk about like some of the older characters that we need to see more of? Can I just make my plea for that? Like, I love when you have Scotty on. I love when you have Jackie on. Jackie Zeman. I mean, I'm just such a huge fan of hers. We're lucky enough that she said yes to do our panel. I just love when she's on. I love when she and Carly went to Nicholas's the mansion.
Oh, that was so cute. Yeah.
They took the boat to the mansion, and like, it was so cute, and they had a little plan that they concocted, and it was great to see Bad Bobby back. Because you give Jackie something to play and she'll play it, and I feel like they don't give her hardly anything to play anymore, and that's a shame.
The panic room. They should have, because Bobby was in there with Florence. That would have been good, but it is what it is.
They didn't. Yeah.
I agree with you.
That's true.
We need our veteran characters. We need something. Yeah. We do need more of Frank's favorite. We need some more Mac.
Yes.
And either we haven't seen Felicia at all. To be there for Maxie. It's
That's bizarre. And I hate when things don't make sense unless it's like the actor can't do it. But if the show's not reaching out to the actor, that makes me crazy, because bring people back for the big life events. It doesn't, it just doesn't make sense otherwise. And Max without something is just, he's not exciting enough. I loved him with Robert. I loved him with somebody, but Mac alone, I just don't think he's strong enough at this stage in the Mac story. Back in the day when he was being a father and a cop.
Now we have him back in the police force, which is great.
Well, folks,
he comes and goes.
So Robin's coming back. I read that.
Oh, nice.
So excited.
Yeah.
Do we know why?
The John Riley tribute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Which I just want to say something on TikTok. I follow this chick, and I was like, she does all these special impressions.
His daughter.
I love Kate. I did not know it was his daughter. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I mean, I just call it's Caitlin or whatever on TikTok. Millions of followers. Love her. I laugh at her stuff every day. And then when I said, and a daughter, I'm like, that's the same chick. Like, I love her. I had no idea that was his daughter. She's gonna be on a sitcom right now. I need her on something. So I didn't even know that. That's crazy. And also shout out and condolences to Christina Wagner, who lost her dad.
And that's the dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That
was such a sweet post she did about her father.
Yes, say that. Yes, very beautiful.
Yeah, very sweet.
So I just want to make sure I say that also. But yeah, so we need Robin to come back for a second. But you're right. Mac needs to have either just big story, more stuff with the brothers, or Felicia come on full time. I mean, I don't think. I mean, they're not going to do that. I think they're just peripheral characters at this point. They bring them in when they bring them in. But it was weird she was not there for Maxie. I mean, that's kind of weird. She didn't.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. And Max, yeah.
I wonder if it was like Carolyn Hennessy when people asked about the Alexis episode. She said, you know what, I wasn't available. They asked.
Right.
That's what I kind of wonder, and Kathleen's talked on here and with us before about that sometimes they're not available. So it's not always on the show.
Yeah. That's
right.
true too.
Which is why I say if it's not on the show, then I understand completely. But if it is on the show, then shame, because, the fans love seeing the families. And, so do we have any idea? So we don't know who Roger's coming back as. We're just going to be, okay. All right. So that's upcoming, right? That's going to be soon, within the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He'll come back as Drew Kane.
He'll come back, what?
He'll come back as Drew Kane.
I hope not.
I thought of that actually.
Me too.
Because we haven't seen the body. We haven't seen Drew's body.
We haven't.
But why would he look like Roger? Why can't Roger be a new character? Because it looks like they nixed the idea of Todd. But could we have a new character? Because Drew, it's like, yeah, but that ties to Sam.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's so complicated. Do we have, is there any chance that any of the shows will, besides All My Children, any chance that any of the old shows will come back? Any chance that anything else could be revived? One Life to Live?
There's always a chance.
Right, I guess. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, as much as whatever happens with All My Children and its primetime stuff, the fact that you don't have like David Canary there, somebody like that, he was so phenomenal on that show that I feel like there's just Susan Lucci, I don't even know if she's going to be involved in the.
She is.
I think she is. Yeah, she is. I think she is. Yeah, I think if you have Susan, you're not going to have Mona, you're not going to have everybody, Phoebe, but
it's the Canes, you have the Santos, yeah.
Right. If you have Eva LaRue and you have Susan, if they're smart, they'll put those people in because that's who the viewers want to see. I mean, if you call it Pine Valley and put a bunch of new actors on, that's not going to entice me. But if I see like Eva and Susan and Alicia and all of these people, that would be like amazing.
They better call up my buddy Vincent Irizarry and bring him back on.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
We all love Dr. David.
We all love.
But he's so as an actor. Period. From Lou Jack to name. He's such a great actor being wasted right now. I mean, he needs to be on a soap opera. I'm like, he needs to be somewhere. So I'm like,
yeah, agreed.
I mean, seriously, he can do it. And that's the thing. And we all know, and at home, we probably don't maybe even know. It's all about people who actually can read the dialogue, remember it. That's the basics. If you can do that and make it and sell it, you're good on the soap. I mean, you're really good. And these are some folks who really know how to do it. They know how to do this. They've been doing it for years. They're pros. So hire them and they will take care of what you need. And David Hayward was a major character. I want to see Jacob Young. I love JR.
Yeah.
He saved the show to me. I mean, I love JR Chandler. I would love to have. I know Jacob's doing his own podcast and he has music and stuff, but I would love to see him go on.
Well, they asked him if he'd come back. They said they'd love to see him as Lucky back on General Hospital, and he said, I'm open to anything. So you never know. He's
my least favorite Lucky. Yeah. I know he won an Emmy for it. And
but he was the JR. Like
He
Yeah,
was JR.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know there's a JR after that. There's a JR that was on the
Mhm.
reboot. I know that he was fine too. Eric, whatever his name is, he was
Yeah.
fine. But no, to me, it's Jacob Young, and to me, it's Jonathan Jackson. I would take Greg Vaughn, my buddy Greg Vaughn.
Yeah, Greg Vaughn was good too. Yeah.
He wasn't given enough chance, I think, but he was not bad.
No.
I just never, I thought he was good. I just never bought him as Lucky. Like he was a really good actor in a meaty part. I just never felt like, yeah, there's Lucky.
That was a dark time in the show. It was the summer of these that unfortunately caused a lot of problems that we're still dealing with now. You know, I always think of that, and it's like all these problems. There's still a problem started from that era, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, but do you like the new? But do you like the new Nicholas? You like Marcus Coloma?
You know,
I think he's lovely. I think he and Maura, you know, Maura would have chemistry with anything. I mean, she's so brilliant. I think my problem with him is that I don't find him formidable. You know, I think that with Tyler, that I don't really like Nicholas as a dark character. I like Nicholas as he was always kind of a good guy.
Marcus is more Laura's son, but have you not seen him be all evil and so cute?
But I don't find it very convincing, the evil. I don't find him being like, I don't see him coming up against Cyrus and being able to take on Cyrus. You know, he doesn't seem like I know he's not that young, but he looks to me so young. But I like him. I think he's good, and I'm glad they finally, because do you remember how they brought him on hanging out at Jax's house?
Yeah,
that was the worst to me. Like, how long did that go on? Where we're just like, where's the story here? So yeah, no, I'm glad he has a story. I like him.
The frustrating thing is I don't know. I kind of like the scene with him and Cyrus at the Metro Court. Where, you know, he's like, hey, yeah, maybe I keep your mom for myself and we do this. So, but I felt like the show didn't follow through with that. It's like he just like gave him back and that was it. I'm like, if Nicholas had a further agenda other than just that, I would have liked it more. But that he just gave that away. I'm like, oh, all right.
You know, if they write him as a worthy opponent and they write him with just more presence, and he could take on some of the bad guys, then I love it. But I don't think the way they're doing it now is that they haven't fully committed him to that. And so I think
they should have more sexy fights with Valentine. Like, I mean,
that's what we need. More sexy fights with Valentine. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that's Lacretia's answer to everything. More sexy fights. Yeah, more sexy. Valentine.
Yeah, always.
Who's Valentine going to be with?
Ever.
Who's Valentine going to be with?
Anna. Okay. Yeah.
You think for sure?
Oh yeah, they go that direction. Totally go that direction.
They have to. It's like, for the love of God, him and Nina were adorable for the longest time, both with Michelle and both with Cynthia. But like, you know, I always believe in spreading the wealth. I mean, guys, like, you got to spread the wealth. Like,
okay, so since I'm not a regular on the show, how many times does she show the cup during the course of the show?
This is about average right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. Just checking.
No, but they literally are. Even Peter said trying to get to Anna. I mean, like you've always liked Anna.
I love them together.
Me too.
I love them. Yeah, I love it.
And I like that the two of them were the first people we've seen at all on the show that have given Cyrus pause. And I hope that they continue to do that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, for sure. I think he's an odd choice. I think the actor's an odd choice I think it's an interesting choice, you know, for the bad, evil guy, you know, because you don't look at him and think, wow, that's a mobster. But that makes it interesting, I suppose.
When he smiles, like, because he enjoys, like, that's what I love about Jeff's direction.
Yeah, that's true.
Is smiling at others' misfortune. And that's what makes him creepy. Is he's sort of like a Joker in the way where he doesn't really, it makes sense that he loves his mommy and wants to, like, you know, impress his mom, but he's also like a wild card. So you don't know what he's going to do.
No, that's true.
I want Nicholas to go full Cassadine. I want Cyrus to be shaking his boots because it's kind of like he alluded to it, kind of like I'm not like the others. Like my family's been doing this since before your family could do
Right,
it.
right.
That's what I need. I agree with you, Susan. I need that. I need more.
Right.
Of that.
And so if you're going to have him be that, then don't make him be like, like the mother, Laura's yelling at him, you don't realize it, but they just, or Carly was yelling at him, you just played right into their hands. I need him to be smart.
Yes.
Like if he's going to be the badass, then make him be smart. Don't make him be somebody who just got taken in by Cyrus.
Well, Carly's always yelling at somebody.
Well, her as usual, when Britt and she walks in there, Britt and Jason, where I did like the first thing. Excuse me, like Jason's holding her hand. What?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Carly, trying to pee in her territory. It's like
well, but that's the character. She's always been like insanely jealous and possessive. So that's the character.
And that works like here. And that's what I liked, because even Jason, I think, was turned on by Britt, barking back. It's like, oh, finally a love interest for Jason who can really bark back. It's not since Robin's have we seen this, really.
Right.
I miss that in that character. I think that's really a waste to not use him like that. I mean, the monosyllabic right-hand man of Sonny's, I think that's, that's great. But I think you need to use the other aspects of that character, which is the romantic piece. He's a romantic leading man. And for God's sake, when's the last time we've seen him with a woman and Britt, she's great. I think that they would be dynamite together.
For sure. We just need, much like the Five Families, we just need to get the ball rolling on whatever's going on. Like, let's get to it already. We keep seeing whatever this medical appointment you've got, Britt, let's do it. Because I'm tired of just the handshake.
What's happening with this? What's happening with the hand? What's that about?
Oh, it's Huntington's. Faison had Huntington's. Yeah.
Okay.
And I love that they've not name checked it yet. Like they've been leading up to this for a while. But that was something
that we had. Yeah. Do you remember that episode that we had with arthritis? Remember that?
Yes.
Oh yes, that one episode that we brought it up.
Osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis. We had arthritis. We had osteoporosis.
Yeah.
In prison before she got beat, she was going to get beat up. Like, no, I have brittle bones now. Please don't hit me.
Yeah, brittle bones. Brittle bones.
Soft bones. Yes, soft bones.
And that's where they foray into their musical episode.
Yes, the musical episode. I have to say, I love Scotty and Liesel. I love Scotty called Liesel after. I loved him and Cameron. I loved that he's becoming the grandfather. You're picking up work for Frank. It's very natural. I like that Elizabeth leans on Scotty a little bit to kind of come through, and he's coming through. I just love Ken Schreiner's delivery is so interesting. The way he delivers the lines, the way he's not like anybody else in the show. He's like Michael Easton. Michael Easton has his own way he delivers stuff, the way they do things. And Michael's played 20 characters in the General Hospital universe, and each one is something different, and I feel like same thing with Ken just has a way. You feel his history as he's talking to you in any scene. He's been on for whenever he's with Laura or where he's with Cameron, or he comes in, and he has chemistry with everybody too in various ways. I mean, it's Ken Schreiner with the crazy hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's him. It's that's what he's known for. I mean,
and he cuts his own hair, so
exactly that's what he said.
His scene with Cameron where he was being just kind of introspective Scotty Baldwin for a moment, just saying, "This is what I was like. You don't want to go like this. Trust me, it's not." I was like, I enjoyed those scenes.
And I think it grounds the show to see those characters together. I love when he walked into Laura's and he said, I'm just going nuts. I needed to talk to you. I just love that. I love the scenes, that they let him be a grieving father for the fifth. Is this the fifth or sixth kid he's lost?
Right, exactly right.
But I mean, he loves it. He's a very dear friend of mine. He loves being on the show more than anything. He loves Cam. He loves the actor. He loves the character. They get along. He loves Becky. He and Roger had a special chemistry too. So, and Liesel. I mean, I love that has taken off. I love that he had an apartment.
Yes.
Yeah.
In their home.
Yeah.
No matter how it was decorated.
Whatever. We'll talk about that next episode.
Yes. I know. I mean,
in our set decorating.
I'm a huge. I mean, I would love to have Ken Schreiner on this show. I've never had him on this show. I'd love to have him on the show at some point.
Oh.
I mean, never had him.
Yes. Oh, yes. That can absolutely happen.
Oh, thank you. I would love to. Seriously, I would love. I love it. I mean,
Yeah. No,
Right.
you know how people say like they're friends with somebody, but they're not really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
And it's going to happen.
Phone number. I have his phone number.
Yes.
Where he lives.
Oh.
That's me, Michelle Stafford. I know where she lives. I've been to her house. We're actually friends. Sean Kane and I are friends. I know where he lives. Like, I mean, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, yeah. Some people say we're good friends. Yeah, right. But no, Ken Schreiner, somebody, him and his brother Will Schreiner. I mean, I know the family. I've been fans for a long time. So I would love to have him on the show.
Oh,
great. I think the fans would love it also. They would love it. They would love it.
Oh yeah, and he's a great guest, especially if he's on camera.
Yeah, he loves
Did
it.
you know him, Susan, before you did Justice League Unlimited, or was that the first time you had met him?
I met him after Justice League was over. He was doing As the World Turns when we were doing Justice League. So I never recorded with him, unfortunately. It would have been great. And we didn't actually, Wonder Woman and Green Arrow didn't have a ton of scenes together. We were in like different orbits. So he was doing As the World Turns. I was here. He was in New York. So he would record from New York. We lived on the same street for a period of time. And I remember like walking up my street and seeing him and Josh Duhan.
Logan.
Outside. Yeah. And I just, and I'm a huge General Hospital fan. I've watched it my whole life. And there's Scotty. And I was just like beyond excited. And I went over and I introduced myself. And this is what I will say, like meeting somebody as a fan is one thing, but meeting them as a coworker is a lot better. So when I said, I'm a huge fan of General Hospital, but also we worked on a show together. And he said, what show? I said, Justice League Unlimited. And he said, oh, yeah. So what did you play? And I said, oh, I played Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And that was cool to have that, like mic drop moment with somebody. Because if you're just going up and saying, I've watched you forever, I love you. I mean, I've been with Ken a lot in public and he's always gracious to fans. But the conversation would have lasted 4 minutes and then it would have been done instead of turning into a friendship that's over a decade old now. So it's pretty great. Pretty great.
So Michael B's like, hold up, she's the voice of Wonder Woman. You came on Michael B.
Yeah, you came on
like,
Michael
the hell? Hey, Susan. Michael B said, hello.
Hi.
I was like, yeah, you came out of here. We talked about that at the beginning a little bit. So yes, they're the Lacretia and Frank are the superhero people. I'm not into that. They know all that stuff. So I'm a Star Wars person.
Owe it to yourself to watch Justice League Unlimited. It still holds up and it's phenomenal. Dwayne McDuffie did so much great stuff for the course of that 3 seasons of Unlimited.
Oh my God. Dwayne McDuffie, what a brilliant soul he was. Brilliant. Yeah, he wrote some of my favorite episodes. Brilliant guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. I think it's on HBO Max. It might be. So James,
it is.
HBO Max.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I watch HBO Max stuff all the time. I'm on
yeah, me too. Me too.
All the time. Well, thank you, DirecTV. I can get it for free.
Or AT&T. Yeah.
Or AT&T, however they call it these days. I'm like, whatever. They get on my nerves. We've been on for an hour and a half. We're going to end the show, folks. I'm sorry, there are other things. I have to make dinner or something. There's things going on.
It's the Oscars.
But Susan, I know. Susan, they loved you. They're like, they just, and DT Durr said you're this person's favorite Wonder Woman.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. And if people want to talk to me on social media, please let them know that because Lacretia is my only friend on social media that talks to me about soap operas.
She always wants you guys to talk to her.
Please, I desperately love soap conversations, and I'm not really in the mix. So SoapCon Live has helped a lot with that, and obviously my friendship with Lacretia has helped in a big way.
Oh, you're asking for a lot, Susan. Because once they start becoming your friends, we get soap stuff all the time. And they'll tell you and share things they'll tag you and stuff all the time.
As long as people are kind, that's the only thing. I mean, I
can't promise that, but yes.
Okay, well, it's like the Wonder Woman stuff. I need, kindness goes a long way with that with me. So if people stay kind and respectful, it's all good.
Okay, see, take note, folks. Or not maybe you in the chat, but folks out there,
I know. I like how you're looking at the computer,
Yeah.
like you're actually looking at people.
Yeah.
I felt admonished. So
Yeah.
Well, it was towards you, Frank Moran.
Yeah.
sorry.
Of course.
Of course. Susan, thanks for being on the show.
Having
You
me
actually, you welcome.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you are. You want to come on and talk about GAs? Come on anytime. You're free.
Yeah.
We're all.
I mean,
now.
that's your fave.
I love it.
We do it every Sunday, and so if you ever want to come, and I have other shows too. If you want to come on any of the other shows, I have some great co-hosts there too. We talk about wide arm mobile. So anytime you want to come to LJ Media, come on over. We'll have a good time and for an hour. This time an hour and a half.
As long as you don't bitch about Adam for like 30 minutes, which is what I do when we talk about Weinhardt.
we did too a little earlier today. It's not a story about Ray and Sharon. Yeah, we talk about that.
I'm sorry, I like Ray.
So Susan, where can they find you on social media?
Susan Eisenberg 1 on Twitter and Instagram.
Very good. Frank,
and they can, and I have a website if they want to see the Wonder Woman stuff. It's SusanEisenbergVoice.com.
SusanEisenbergVoice.com. They're asking. Just tell us right now. Just tell us right now. Yeah, SusanEisenberg.com. Okay. So very good. Frank Moran, where can they find you if they want to, like, I don't know.
I have no cool stuff to show you, like Susan. But follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
Lucretia, do your thing.
Since I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. And go to soapconlive.com to find all that fun stuff as well.
Please.
They're saying thanks for embracing us with your presence. I think I know what you mean. Thanks for gracing us. Embracing us with your presence. I know brace for impact.
Brace.
The fans are thanking you, Susan, for being on the show, and I thank you also, and I thank all of you out there for making this my #1 show on my network. GA Streaming Spotlight is on all audio streaming services. It's also on YouTube at JLJ Media, my company. I just celebrated 9 years as a YouTube channel. I had no idea what was going on when I started. The last 2 weeks, you guys have made my most successful weeks. I'm getting 10,000 views a week now, which is very strange. Wow. Thank you. I will take that. A lot of hard work.
That's great.
And our 1-year anniversary as a network, when I started this in the pandemic, is in June. So I'll be planning something big for that. And also next month is our 6th-year anniversary of doing this show. 6 years I've done this show. That's in May, and I'll do something special for that too. You guys, thank you for watching. Oh, follow me. We're all James Lott Jr. Sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. And the person I stole that from, Alexis Torres, I talked to yesterday, actually. Alexis is doing fine. My first engineer ever. We all know Alexis Torres. The three of us know Alexis Torres. My favorites. And she's doing great. I stole that she let me have that, and I stole that from her ever since. But folks, please be safe, be sane, wear a mask, still wash your hands, have compassion, and we'll see you next time.